My sister slapped my 6-month-old daughter across the face on Christmas Eve. And before she even looked at the baby she had just hurt, she checked her camera angle because she was live streaming to her followers. When my daughter screamed, my sister did not panic. She got annoyed and told the table to keep the baby quiet because she was on air. I am Rachel, a pediatric ER nurse married to an army captain. And this is how one slap tore open 30 years of secrets my family had buried and ended my sister's entire career. Growing up, my sister Vanessa was always the center of everything. She built an online empire, millions of followers, a perfectly staged life. I was the quiet one, the nurse, the soldier's wife. When I had my daughter Hazel, I refused to let her grow up performing for anyone. So when I hosted our first Christmas, I set one rule for Vanessa: no filming at the table. She agreed. She lied. 40 minutes into dinner, her phone was propped against the gravy boat. Ring light on, live stream running. When Hazel started fussing, Vanessa snapped at me to shut the baby up because she was live. Then she reached across the table and slapped my daughter hard across her tiny cheek. Hazel screamed. I pulled her against my chest. The table went silent. My mother stared at her plate. My father did not move. My husband stood up, walked over to Vanessa, and said 2 words: "Leave now." She laughed it off, called it a tap, said everyone was overreacting. My mother backed her up, said I knew how Vanessa gets. My father grabbed his coat and said nothing. They all left. My daughter's first Christmas ended in silence, and something in me broke that night for good. Days later, my mother called, demanding I apologize to Vanessa. Vanessa's publicist texted me worried about brand deals, not about my daughter's bruised cheek. That was when I called my aunt, and she told me this was not the first time. Years earlier, Vanessa had grabbed a 4-year-old cousin so hard she left bruises on his arm, and my parents paid that family $5,000 to stay quiet. I kept digging. At my late grandmother's house, I found a hidden folder documenting 30 years of proof, school records, hospital receipts, a neighbor's letter. Vanessa at 8 punching a classmate. Vanessa at 16 pushing a cousin down the stairs, breaking her wrist. My mother lying to the doctor that she fell. Vanessa at 32 bruising a 4-year-old on camera. Vanessa at 37 slapping my baby. Every time, my parents chose silence and money over their own grandchildren. Meanwhile, Vanessa posted a tearful video claiming I had banned her from Christmas and let my husband threaten her. It got nearly 2 million views. Strangers flooded my hospital with fake bad reviews and sent threats to my home. But I stayed calm, hired a lawyer, gathered every document and witness, and brought it all to a local investigative reporter. The segment aired. Within days, Vanessa lost her biggest sponsors and her followers started disappearing. Furious, she went live one more time to defend herself, and this time she completely unraveled in front of 140,000 viewers. She attacked me, mocked my job and my marriage, and then, in pure rage, screamed at her own audience to shut up, the exact same words she had used against my baby. Viewers caught it instantly and shared it everywhere before she could delete it. That was the end for her. She lost every sponsor within a week. Her publicist quietly walked away. Her ex-husband's lawyer requested the footage for a custody case. My aunt finally apologized to the family Vanessa had hurt years before. My parents' mortgage, which Vanessa had been secretly covering, became their problem again, and I felt no guilt about that at all. My father called weeks later, his voice broken, admitting he should have said something decades ago. I told him he should have, and that I could not fix that for him now. My mother sent a card for Hazel's first birthday saying she missed her granddaughter. I kept the card, but I did not call back, because missing someone is not the same as taking responsibility for what you let happen to them. We eventually moved for my husband's new posting, a fresh start where nobody knew our story. I got promoted to charge nurse. Hazel took her first steps the week we packed our boxes, walking straight into her father's arms, safe, finally free of the pattern that almost swallowed her too. Looking back, the hardest boundary I ever set was not with my sister, it was with the part of me that believed keeping the peace meant keeping my family safe. For 30 years, my parents mistook silence for love. And every time they covered for Vanessa, they taught her that hurting people had no consequences, and taught me that my pain was never worth the disruption. I stopped believing that lesson the moment my husband stood up and said the only 2 words that mattered: leave, now. And I finally understood I had the right to say them myself all along.